Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Leave me some comments. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit different based on the activities that happened today. I turned on TV fully expecting to watch C-SPAN and watch them go through the Electoral College votes and hear the objections and see a part of our Constitution that's really never been tried. And on one hand, I was kind of happy about it because I love the Constitution, so let's put it to the test. And if it holds up, then it is the document I believe it is. Instead, what we saw was a group of people that decided to invade the Capitol like a group of terrorists. For the family of the woman that was killed, my condolences go to you, and that family will be in my prayers. But she shouldn't have been there. I don't know the whole situation. I know what they showed in videos, which never tells a full story. At some point it'll come out. But she shouldn't have been there. What I saw today first saddened me, then it made me angry. Now I'm just disgusted. I am disgusted, and I don't care if you go back to my BLM Antifa video, and I brought up that there was no need for violence, that burning down and assaulting people accomplishes nothing. That is not what we're supposed to do. And what we saw today, I honestly feel is going much farther into it. By desecrating the House chamber, the places where our laws are debated and voted on, and you got a guy with a buffalo hat and other people sitting in the podium taking pictures, and they're breaking out windows. This was an invasion. This was the British in 1812. This is what the Confederates hoped to do during the Civil War. There is no excuse for that. There is no reason for that. There's nothing anybody could tell me to justify or legitimize the actions that were taken by these group of people today. Their violence did nothing but put them on the same level as Al-Qaeda and BLM and Antifa. The difference is at least BLM and Antifa have a base. They had a core belief that maybe some of the people in the streets took astray, which led to the burning and the assaults. But they had a core belief in something good. What I saw today on TV, that is not a core belief in something good. That's simply trying to impose their will on other people. Now, what did they accomplish? Guess what? All the objections from the House and the Senate have been pulled. Joe Biden will be the president-elect. So you even failed in the goal that you set out for. The problem with it is now you have both sides in the street willing to commit violence, willing to vandalize, willing to set things on fire to prove their point. The scary thought to me is I really believe our country is on the verge of something worse. Some people call it a civil war. I don't think it matters who goes to the White House at this point. I think the violence is going to erupt on both sides. And that doesn't bode well for many of the larger communities. It doesn't bode well for our country as a whole. I took an oath as a teenager, the oath of enlistment. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What I saw today was domestic terrorism. What I saw today was something that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. And yet it happened. It happened on national TV. The entire world saw exactly what happens when people decide that violence is the answer. As far as the woman that died, yes, she was an Air Force veteran for 14 years. She swore the same oath of enlistment I did. Most veterans I know, especially retirees, because you go on what's called the retired rolls, which means you could be recalled at any time. So in my mind, an oath has always been in effect. I've never walked away from it. I know a lot of veterans that will say they feel the same way. And some of them were in that crowd. So here's what I'm going to say to everybody who's involved with that. If you're a veteran especially, you fucking disgust me. You have violated the oath you took to our country. You violated the oath you took to our Constitution. In my mind, the greatest piece of paper ever written. So if you dislike what I'm saying, I don't give a shit. Don't subscribe, unsubscribe. If you're seeing this through a link on Twitter or Instagram or Parler and you don't like it, then you know what? Don't follow me. I don't want the support of people like you. I want the support of people who want to think, who are open to ideas, who believe nonviolence is the answer. I don't care what movement it is. Committing violence like what I saw today or what we saw in Portland, what good does that do anybody? You know, one of the greatest movements in the history of the United States was the Civil Rights Movement. And you read the stories and you watch the old movies that were taken at the time of King marching through Selma. Or you watch the original film of fire hoses and police dogs being sicked on school children. That's not what's happening now. Those marchers were peaceful. They did everything they could to avoid confrontation. And when faced with confrontation, they still avoided violence. What we see now is groups instigating violence. Many times it almost seems for violence sake. One of the comments today taken away from the rioters at the Capitol was a woman who got a couple of steps in and got pepper sprayed. When she came out and they asked her why she was there, she said, because the revolution starts here. Well, I, for one, am not looking for a revolution. I love my country. I love the Constitution. Do we have issues we need to fix? Yes. But violence is going to fix none of those issues. Now, regardless of what side, the rioters, and in Portland, those were riots. When you set things on fire and you break windows and you use industrial fireworks, it is a riot. It is an assault. When you invade the Capitol, it is an assault. It is a riot. It's not a generally peaceful protest. But that's a minuscule portion of our population. What I would ask is the people listening to this, use your voice, as small as you may think it is, through social media, through your contacts, through your family, through your friends. Stand up and speak. Use your voice. Because if cooler heads don't prevail, this is only going to get worse. And that's the last thing we need. But if the majority of our country stands up, regardless of party, regardless of race, regardless of orientation, if we stand up and demand that these elements start standing down, if we do that, then maybe there's a chance we could bring this back before it gets worse. Because if we don't, if you don't gather the courage to stand up and be counted, then you're as big of a problem as the ones committing the violence. That's really all I got tonight. I had another plan for what I was going to do because I'm trying to do some new things with the channel, but I'm really, like I said, I went from sad, angry to disgusted, and I'm just done. I'm not watching any more news tonight. I'm not reading any more news. I silenced my phone because I don't even want the news flashes right now. I just really need to think and calm down and recenter myself. But if you like what I have to say, like, subscribe, comment. As I said, if you dislike what I have to say in this video, I really don't care. Don't unsubscribe, unfollow me. I don't want you as a follower anyway. But pray that everything calms down. Keep your family safe. Keep yourself safe. And let's hope for a brighter future.